Hey everyone, Daniel here, 395 Junkie, and welcome back to the channel. Or maybe I should be welcoming myself back to the channel. It has been quite a while. And currently, we are not on a trip, although it might look like it. Where we're at right now is home. This is our new home. If you haven't been keeping track, we moved to Idaho about 4-5 months ago, and we have been busy developing our property up here in North Central Idaho. We bought about 15 acres of vacant land, and we have been really busy. We put this road in behind us, we built this pole barn which is behind us, and we're just in the midst of getting it built out inside, which is going to give us a little bit of living quarters. Welcome back to the channel, to me and to you guys, although a lot of you guys have been keeping tabs on us on our other channel, You, Me, and the Fence Post. And if you haven't already checked us out there, I would encourage you to. It's a channel that's basically dedicated to our build here in Idaho. And it shows everything that we've been up to and what we've been keeping busy on. And it's really been taking a lot of our attention, which is unfortunately why we haven't been able to get out and do a whole lot of adventuring. However, that all changes starting tomorrow. Tomorrow, we will be headed out on about a 4-day adventure, and who knows how long it's going to go from there. But as you can see, Belle's behind me. I'm getting everything kind of checked out, giving it a pre-adventure check through. I got to do an oil change on it. Need to replace the air filters, both the cabin and inside. And yesterday, we replaced the dual battery system, which I was never real happy with. We replaced it with lithium 80 amp hour anti-gravity battery. So we're pretty stoked on that, because the dual battery setup has just been such a complete nightmare. I mean, I can tell you stories of why it is not the way you want to pursue going for the power management on your Jeep or truck or whatever it is that you like to drive. Really, this is just a video to get back in the swing of things, and as far as adventuring, which we haven't had a whole lot of chance to do, but wanted to kind of preface this video with a welcome back introduction and give you guys an idea of what we've been up to. And as you can see from behind me, it is football Sunday, so the Dallas Cowboys are just about to kick off if they haven't already. So I'm going to watch that while I'm getting the Jeep all ready, and we will see you guys out on the trail right now.
Put your hand in my hand, darling, say go. Keep your eyes on the horizon, stay gold. All I need are your eyes, you're my arrow. Now we're running into the wild. I see the light. I feel alive.
All right, guys, so we are about an hour into our adventure, maybe 2 hours, and isn't this beautiful? Isn't this so beautiful? No. So, I'm not sure what the issue is with the Jeep, but I'm maintaining a positive attitude. Idaho Daniel's really come a long ways. Tish is looking at me in the background. Not sure what the problem is. It's overheating. There's no signs of a coolant leak. Got AAA on the way. Not sure how this is going to impact the adventure. I'll be honest with you. Everybody that we've called so far is so far behind and weeks out. Anyways, I have a feeling it has something to do. Yeah, we made 2 stops. The first one was to check the engine oil, just to make sure there was any leaks. You know, these oil filters in these Wranglers have a funny placed gasket on the oil filter when you take it out. So you guys got to be careful when you do your own oil change, because a couple times ago I had that gasket a little bit off and it caused oil to be sprayed everywhere, and it was the last time my Jeep was towed thinking it was something more major. In any case, I had pulled over to check on that, just make sure there wasn't any smoke or oil dripping, and everything was fine. But we had pulled over for long enough that maybe by not moving, it had gotten it... The idle was causing it to get hotter and hotter. And we didn't have that airflow that you get when you normally drive. In any case, it's an electrical gremlin somewhere. I'm 100% confident on that. I don't know how to diagnose it. At least I can explain it to wherever we tow it to, which I'm not even sure where that's going to go yet. But I'm hoping my wife's good looks will get us in to get it fixed immediately.
I wouldn't count on it.
Anyways, we'll catch up with you guys in just a little bit. Alright guys, so we made it to the Jeep dealer. While we're waiting for the mechanics to take a look at it, I noticed one of my terminals was pretty loose from the lithium battery replacement. So I read an article that said that because of the loose connection, it may have the 12 volts, but you may not be able to draw enough amperage. It needs to turn that fan on, which I've diagnosed is the fan not clicking on. So I went to parts, I got a few shims for the terminal. I put a shim on the positive terminal, hooked it all up, and I don't know what to expect. I mean, maybe if the check engine light goes off, I'm very confident, but I also think sometimes it takes a while for the check engine light to go away, or maybe they need to be cleared. So I'm not sure what to expect when I turn it on right now, but let's see if anything's different. And the check engine light's off. The check engine light is off. That was 100% my issue. What a doofus. This is all completely avoidable. We'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. We're going to discuss this further. All right, guys, my optimism fell short of actually providing a solution to the problem. The reason why that check engine light went off is because I basically reset the system. It was loose, it did tighten it, but as soon as the mechanic brought it into his shop to double check everything, come to find out my cooling fan is bad. So we need to drive all the way down to Caldwell tonight, which is the nearest dealership that has that part. And we're going to try to limp our way there and keep it, you know, as long as we're moving, we should be okay. But of course, there's construction going on right now. So I got the heater on, we're pulled over, and we're going to be leaving here any minute. So
now,
hopefully things work out for us. All right, guys, so we are pulled over on the side of the road just past Horseshoe Bend on the way to Caldwell. The temperature got up to about 225, and knowing it was going to keep rising as soon as I pulled over, my better judgment, we pulled over. It got up to about 237, and it's starting to come back down right now. But we got another 2.5 miles to the summit. So we're going to let this get back down to like probably 160, 170, and then crawl to the summit. And once we make it to the summit, I think we're home free, at least to get to Caldwell, because only reason it's so bad right now is we're going up a pretty steep grade called right around Horseshoe Bend. But it's going to be a slow go. We might have to do this a few times, and this sucks that it's the beginning of an adventure. But I was really hoping to put out a really great video for everybody, but instead you get this.
It smells lovely.
All right, guys, so we made it to Caldwell, Idaho, and that was sketchy. Driving all the way from Cascade to Caldwell was, for the most part, it was fine, but we started hitting some really steep grades by Horseshoe Bend, and Bell was overheating really, really bad. So the issue is, at the Cascade dealer, they told us that the fan cooler was out, the fan that cools down the radiator. So they also were able to track down that the nearest dealership
in stock.
I'm trying to, I don't see Bell out there, but I think we're in a different area. I'm distracted. So they said the nearest dealership that has one of those fans in stock is in Caldwell, which is why we drove 2.5 hours down here. So we're in the Boise area right now. We're hoping tomorrow, not only can we, step one is to buy the fan. Once we buy the fan, then we can ask them to install it.
Like right away.
And if not, man, I don't know what we're going to do, but I feel terrible, guys. This trip is, it's about us wanting to have a good time, but it really is to provide some adventure for you guys on our channel. I know I haven't done a whole lot lately, so I just feel terrible that one of the first trips out, and man, it was going to be good. You saw the beginning. Like, this video was going to be legit. Now I feel like I totally failed you guys. So
You have.
we're eating our leftover meals that we were going to eat at camp. Luckily, there's a microwave in here, so we're going to make the best of tonight. We're maintaining a great attitude. I'm maintaining a great attitude.
Are you?
Tish is, she gets a little moody.
Behind the scenes footage.
No behind the scenes footage. All right, folks, we're having a good night, and we will see you guys tomorrow. We'll give you guys an update. All right, good morning. It is about 7 o'clock here in Caldwell, Idaho. We're waiting in the service line at Dennis Dillon Jeep Chrysler, and they have one of the only cooling fans within a couple 100-mile radius. So fingers crossed we get our hands on it today, and cross your fingers on your other hand that they'll be able to replace it for us. Otherwise, I'll be turning wrenches in a Napa parking lot. So talk to one of the service riders. They're gonna do their best to try to get it in today. Everybody I keep talking to says that they're weeks and weeks out. I did talk to the parts department too. They have it in stock, so they're pulling it aside for me. If this all works out today, I mean, we're already blessed, but I'm really gonna feel blessed that we got this issue resolved in less than 24 hours, but let's not count our chickens just yet. They wrote up a service ticket. He said no promises, and we're just going to wait patiently in the waiting room. I'll let you know what happens.
I go straight from the bank, gassing up the tank, cranking up the radio, playing old Hank. It ain't that long till I'm back at the pond. I'm pulling up the truck down at the dock. It's time to do some cruising, baby, get a little stuck. It's a Saturday joyride, Percy Feast is the spot. We're on a boat, we're feeling fine, drinking Tennessee whiskey, a big blue sky. We're going up, we're coming down. There's a party on the water, it's a hell of a time. We're on a boat, we're killing time, in our own honky tonk with a bottle of wine. We're going up, we're coming down. Cheers to feeling alright, it's a hell of a time. Yeah, we're chilling out here, ladies in the rear, our feet in the water, our top disappears, drinking Malibu Patron or a beer in a cup. We all get to dance and I get to chancing, kissing that country girl, romancing, a whole lot of love, bumping out of the bar. Yeah, we're on a boat, we're feeling fine, drinking Tennessee whiskey, a big blue sky. We're going up, we're coming down. Here's the feeling alright, it's a hell of a time. We're on a boat, we're killing time, in our own honky tonk, meet the big blue sky. We live it up, we got it down. Here's the feeling alright, it's a hell of a time. And I'm falling for a small town girl, so kiss me, darling, rock my world, rock my world, rock my world. Yeah, now it's a hell. We're on a boat, we're feeling fine, drinking Tennessee whiskey, a big blue sky. We're going up, we're coming down. There's a party on the water, it's a hell of a time. We're on a boat, we're killing time, in our own honky tonk with a bottle of wine. We're going up, we're coming down. Cheers to feeling alright, it's a hell of a time. Hell of a time. It's a hell of a time. Oh, hell of a time.
Good morning. Boy, what a great night's sleep did I have last night in that Ursa Minor. I don't think I've ever slept so good. Hey, we're back. It feels good. Good morning. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video up until now, although it is definitely not the adventure we had anticipated when we set off a couple days ago. But as usual, you know, we show you the good, the bad, the ugly. Every adventure has its ups and downs, and this one just happened to start it off pretty rough. And I thought I'd get into a little bit with you guys exactly what happened. I have recently replaced the dual battery setup, which I just couldn't stand. It's, in theory, it's a great idea. If you don't have it and you're considering it, don't do it. You're completely not necessary. In fact, I was happier with my battery setup when it was the factory single battery than when I went to the dual batteries. And here's why. The dual battery setup, I don't have a huge issue with Genesis. The dual battery system Genesis is really, really good. Again, in theory, all their stuff worked just fine. The problem I have with Genesis is that they've partnered up with Odyssey, or not necessarily partnered up, but they sell their system with the Odyssey batteries. And Odyssey batteries are complete garbage. And I can say that with a high level of confidence because not only did I go through the first 2 batteries within a year and a half, which they made it a complete pain to try to warranty it. I would have had to take the battery out, drive it, 45 minutes to a shop, drop it off, let them test it, go back in a day or 2, and if they deem it as a faulty battery, then maybe I can get a replacement. Maybe just one, maybe both. That wasn't worth the hassle, so I ended up replacing them on my own, which was dumb. I know, it's a total waste of money. I bought 2 more Odyssey batteries, and within months, I would wake up in the morning and the refrigerator would be dead. So after going through about 4 different batteries on the dual battery setup, I said enough's enough. I got rid of those. I went with the lithium. So to bring it back full circle, the issue that we had the other day is when I replaced the lithium battery with the 2 dual batteries, I had a bunch of cables going all over the place. That was, some were going to the main battery, some was going to the auxiliary battery, and when I was disconnecting all those wires, I was like a bull in a china shop, which my first problem. I'm just taking everything off, red, black, positive, negative, right? That's what you'd think. So as I'm putting all the cables back onto the battery, the single battery, I'm putting all the reds to the positive, all the blacks to the negative. You see where I'm going with this? Well, apparently Jeep and their brilliance decided that the cooler fan that is, standard on the Jeep Unlimited Wranglers, that power cable they have it's a black cable. It's a black wire in black sheathing, right? So I obviously not paying much attention when I took it all apart, just throwing wires everywhere. I, put the black onto the negative, and that was that. So the next day when I turned the Jeep on, I saw the check engine light. Problem number 2, I didn't throw the code reader on it. I just figured, well, because I disconnected the battery, it's going to reset itself. And, being a Jeep owner, that if you kick the tire too hard, the check engine light will come on. So there, it's a complacency in a sense, in that I was used to seeing that check engine light at times, and I didn't take it serious, which I should have. I took it to the first dealer. Bad call, bad call. This is where I won't take complete responsibility for the waste of money that I also encountered in having to replace the cooler fan. When I went to that first dealer, he was adamant at $558 that it was a bad cooler fan. Kind of gave the attitude like, you're lucky I saw you. And maybe I was lucky that they saw us. The gal at the front desk was very helpful. She made a point of, trying to get us in front of a mechanic. The mechanic, you could tell, it was getting close to 6 o'clock. He didn't really want to troubleshoot and, answer the questions that I was throwing at him, because I wasn't confident that it was just a bad engine fan. But silly me, problem number 3 is I took his word for it. They told me the nearest one was 2.5 hours away in Caldwell, Idaho. So we barely limped our way there at that evening. And in fact, there was a couple times where going up through Horseshoe Bend, getting into Boise, it's a really steep, long grade. There was a couple times where I had to pull over, and finally, when we ended up leaving that next time, if you haven't seen the new Top Gun 2, there's a part in the beginning where Maverick is like pushing the limits, and man, he finally made it to whatever he was trying to do. It was like a Mach 8 or something like that. I'm not saying I'm Tom Cruise and, Maverick from Top Gun, but I'll tell you, at the top of that pass, I was pushing, it was like at 235 temperature, engine coolant temperature, and I might have felt a little Maverick-ish at the time. And so once I made it to the top of the summit there, as soon as we started going down, the temperature started dropping, and we were good to go. Next morning, went to Caldwell, got that cooler fan, which was the only one in like a 200-mile radius. They installed it because that's what I told them to do. They didn't troubleshoot anything. As soon as they got it in, they said, Daniel, you still have a problem. It's not turning on. That's when he started digging in and realized that I had connected that black positive wire from the fan to the negative terminal, and the rest is history. So. Alright guys, so breakfast is just about done. It's just chorizo and eggs and some tortilla, and throw a slice of cheese on there. Pretty simple breakfast. Doesn't take a whole long to cook and prepare. So I'm going to get these wrapped up in the tortilla. We're going to eat breakfast, and we're going to pack up and get out of here. So we'll see you guys out on the trail.
Stepping into the unknown, waving goodbye to our worry. So we run wild and free. We're not ever slowing down. We're chasing down the dreams we found. Over the rivers and mountains, deep in the heart of the sea. We know adventure is calling, so we run wild and free. Wild and free.
All right, so what'd you think of that spot here?
Nice.
Yeah,
It was prettier in the morning.
it was a lot prettier in the morning. We couldn't see anything last night, and you know when you're like a kid and like there's this really scary movie, and you get real scared, and then you watch it as an adult, and it's like, why was I scared? That's kind of how I felt this morning driving down from there. There really wasn't anything too crazy, but
No.
it was good. We are back on the trail. We are all aired up, and it is 12 p.m. We are headed south towards like St. George area. And we're going to find a campsite tonight. It's probably about a 4-hour drive or so. So we'll catch up with you guys at camp and show you where we end up.
Well, I left Chattanooga, boy, had $1 and a dime. Headed out for Nashville on the Hard Rock Line.